meeting. Ms. King, would you please verify quorum?
Councilwoman Randolph. Here. Councilman Mack.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan.
Here.
Vice Mayor Washington.
Here.
Mayor Gardner.
Here, please stand for a moment of silence, hold 5 seconds, please. Lunch. I play. Next item on the agenda is the approval. Is there a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. We are going to add, after the approval, we're gonna add a proclamation reading right after the approval of the agenda. So with that being a change, is there a motion to approve?
Second question.
Yes.
I would like to table the approval and authorization of the proceed with the prefabrication of the building of the DOJ. I know that's something that Vice Mayor put on. Is that something that you
No, that's not, it's public works.
Okay.
I'm changing, public decisions,
Okay.
make a council decision.
Yeah, we'll make that a council decision if we can, Mayor. Item number 3.
All right, so item 3 has been moved to council decisions. With that and the proclamation to have approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, the agenda has been approved. Next item is citizen participation. I'm sorry, proclamation. Ms. Lee.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, citizens of the public. I'm here to represent Town of Eatonville, the Town Council. But before I start with the proclamation, I want you to take a look at the center diocese here, represent one of our former mayors. And this is the position of generosity from the mayor's office on behalf of Angie Gardner, who suggested that we dedicate this meeting in honor of his leadership and his commitment to the town of Eatonville. Before we read the proclamation, I want to take a moment of silence. Thank you. Proclamation. Office of the Mayor, Town of Eatonville, Florida. Honoring the legacy of the Honorable Edward Eddie Cole. In the words of the former Mayor Cole, I have traveled the world. I have eaten from the table of the wealthiest to feeding the poor in Africa. I have met what we call celebrities to visiting those in the prison wall. There is not more I could experience, but the most important thing in the whole world, and that is what God thinks of me. Anything else I experience without his blessing is mere foolishness. Heaven bound should be our goal. Whereas Honorable Edward Eddie Cole was a notable, respected visionary, devoted public servant, and community leader to the historic town of Eatonville and to the surrounding local district communities alike. He will be remembered for his love for family, service to the Eatonville community, and his unwavering advocacy for youth, seniors, and for those displaced, less fortunate, and marginalized. And whereas Honorable Edward Eddie Cole was born on May 5th, 1958 in Kenton, Ohio, to the late Mertis and Percy Cole, and later moved to Florida to extend his community influence and work serving with Young Life Ministries, introducing youth to Jesus Christ helping them to grow in their faith. He was also the founder of Every Kid Outreach Incorporated, in which he served for 2 decades as the executive director with a mission to equip students in underserved communities to excel academically, physically, and spiritually, and to be emotionally healthy, having good character, acquiring tools to becoming successful and productive citizens. And whereas Honorable Edward Eddie Cole departed his earthen vessel on Saturday morning, December the 20th, 2025, at the age of 67, passing along the charge that will continue his legacy forward. His children are the extension of his legacy, and they will always cherish and remember him as a loving father who was always present in their lives. And whereas Honorable Edward Eddie Cole dedicated his life to public service and leadership, formerly serving as mayor of historic Eatonville, 2016 through 2022. He served as team chaplain for the Orlando Magic during the NBA season, assistant basketball coach for the women's basketball team at Rollins College for over 30 years, since 1989, where he was inducted into the Rollins Sports Hall of Fame on March 23rd, 2023. He touched thousands of lives from his volunteer work, charitable efforts, and his work with middle and high school minority youth in Eatonville, Winter Park, Maitland, and Apopka. And whereas Honorable Edward Eddie Cole was a man of faith, compassion, and service, he faithfully served at the Life Center Church, Eatonville, Florida, as a faithful member within several ministries over the years of his tenure, such as the youth ministry, music ministry, and the outreach ministry. He was a strong, he was of strong conviction and believed that faith should be lived and not performed. And whereas the town of Eatonville recognizes Honorable Edward Eddie Cole for his legacy and the effects his life has had on the town of Eatonville and surrounding communities, his commitment to forward progress will forever leave an indelible mark on the citizens of Eatonville, surrounding communities, and his family and friends. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the town of Eatonville, Orange County, Florida, along with Mayor Angie Gardner, Vice Mayor Theo Washington, Council members Luana Jordan, Taurus Mack, Wanda Randolph, in solidarity honor the legacy of Honorable Edward Eddie Cole. In witness whereof, the mayor have hereunto set her hand and caused the seal of the town of Eatonville, Florida, to be affixed on the 5th day of January 2026. Signed, Angie Gardner, Mayor, attest, Veronica L. King, Town Clerk. This is the proclamation that has already been presented to the family. We want to present to you a framed proclamation along with a plaque, a memorial, gavel, if a representative could come up and receive this. And the placard reads, in memory of Honorable Edward Eddie Cole, former mayor of the town of Eatonville. We also want to present table block that has the town seal that says the Honorable Eddie Cole, along with a framed proclamation. Now, the children can come up and get these as well. But this is that a physical frame of the proclamation in which we have just read into the record. So I'm going to ask the family. Take a picture here. Oh. Okay. Representative would like to make some words.
Thank everyone. Thank everyone in the council person for this proclamation. Thank everybody in the town of Eatonville that really love the town. I don't got much to say.
We know his movement. We just discussing this morning how he got that blue van and left from Boston with a tiny place called Eatonville. It was full of vision of how he can impact the world, how he can change lives. There's never been anybody like him that can come into a place with hopes and dreams to impact young life. And it was in a young life van. And it was only going to a town called Eatonville. First time that I came in here, he was so proud. He told me, this is the first Black incorporated community in America. He was proud of this town.
Yeah.
And he poured out everything he has. His heart, his soul, in the youth work, in the council work he did, in the city work, as a leader in the church, as well as, in sports. His life is unmatched. From grassroots to the highest level of the NBA and NFL, he has touched life immensely. And it all started from here. This is where he birthed his dream, from going from houses to houses, passing food to elderly people, to young people, to poor people. He knows every faces, everybody knows Mr. Eddie Cole. And he started from here. This is where he expanded and his wing expanded. And everybody knows him. Thousands of children from EKO, from fifth quarter, right here. So we're here to thank you for what you have done for him and what he has done for us as well. Thank you for this acknowledgement. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Me and my sister as well be keeping the legacy going. Y'all see us around Eatonville. All I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay. Give you exit time.
So I stick around for a long meeting.
Thank you.
God bless her.
Let's give a hand for the legacy of Ed Cole.
Yeah.
All right. We're now ready for citizen participation.
Yes, ma'am. Carl Washington.
My name is Paul Washington, Town Eatonville, 200 people out. Mayor Gardner, last night I sat in y'all meeting, I've been listening to you all, and I just don't understand how they got to this point. We work hard, myself, work hard to elect you for mayor, put signs out here, me and my boss, Tony Grant. You know, we worked real hard to get you elected into the town. And for someone to make decisions for the town solely upon themselves. You know, it's just like you going into your house and your husband make a decision for you all and not bringing it by you and sell the house. And the sheriff knock on the door and you answer the door and you wonder what's going on. And they tell you you got 24 hours to get out. How would you feel? You want some answers. You don't feel like he betrayed you. That up there hurting feeling. And then for Dr. Phillips, who give multiple millions of dollars to the city of Orlando. Never heard Dr. Phillips giving $2 to the town of Eatonville. I mean, that's their money, they do it wrong. But everything goes to the city of Orlando. Why is the city of Orlando so interested in the town of Eatonville? Why? There's a reason for it. And I heard you say last night that it's only a portion. How much of the portion of the land did you agree with it? That's what, when I was sitting in that meeting, like you said, no, it's not a whole 110 acres. They just want part of the land. So I just want to know what part of the land that they want of the town. You know? And then it's just sad to just do the town like that. You know, we got to work together as a community first of all. And just give things away and then don't have no answer for no one. And then I heard in the meeting that y'all had today, 10 o'clock this morning, that they want to say there's nobody capable enough to build in this town. How can they say that? It doesn't take much. All you got to do is, if you got a person with the right mind and the right skills, you get people to come in and build in your area and you work together. It's a plan. It's a thing that we all work together to build. It's not no one-man show. You know, if everybody's work together, we can get whatever we need in this town, we can get done for this town. And that's all I'm asking, that we all don't sell the town out. I mean, you're not the only mayor that has done this, sir. We had many mayors. You know, we got apartments down there that we don't even get no money for. And Dr. Phillip is a nonprofit organization. So whatever they can't sell, but they can buy. And whatever money that they get, it goes back to them and they distribute to nonprofit organization. But Eatonville never got part of their money. I have yet seen where I looked it up, I've been reading, searching where Dr. Phillip or the city of Orange County gave us part. They're building pavilions in Orange County. Dr. Phillips gave them $150 million. And then for that offer over there, that's $120 million grant that they got from Dr. Phillips. I never heard anything come to the town of Eatonville from Dr. Phillips. So I'm just asking, why are this going on? And like they said, if we wouldn't have a signed the guideline, we won't be at the table today. This won't even be an argument for the city. It won't even be an argument for the city. And like I said, if your husband wants to sign that paper to sell your house, the sheriff won't be at the door to put you out. And you won't be wondering about that. And that's where we at right now. Wondering, how can we stop the bleeding? How can we stop? Honestly, how can we stop the bleeding? I'm asking you, how can we stop this? If I do it, I should be able to tell you how I can undo it. I do say I should be able to give you an answer to undo it. You know, I should be able to give you the answer to undo it.
Thank you.
The next person is Joyce Arby, and I would like to also state that Victor McCall has yielded his time to her. So Joyce, you have a total of 5 minutes.
Acceptance. Think about the work. Deep breath. Acceptance. Learn to accept the moment that you are in and work with it instead of mind projections about What happened that we cannot change? That's driving me insane. Months ago, before Mayor Gardner even met with Dr. Phillips, Angela Thomas and I saw Terry Prather at one of the Baker Barrios meetings, or something, I'm not sure. And we hemmed him up immediately and asked him to work with us. This man, 5 years ago, as the president of SeaWorld, spent $500,000 with commercials promoting Eatonville. $500,000 he spent from Dr. Phillips promoting Eatonville. He didn't ask for nothing. He wanted people to know, he said, come to SeaWorld and learn about your history. This man is not the devil. So if you want to blame somebody, you need to throw us in with blaming the mayor for this horrible situation that we're in. That, in my opinion, is not fair. It's a possibility. We have given up our own choices. Nobody took our choices for us. We have been incompetent for years in dealing with business. For years. It's all of our fault. It's my fault for not screaming loud enough. I'm part of this community, and I am so sick of the name, not just all, listen. Councilman Mack, thank you for keeping a civil tone while you're beating up the mayor today. A week ago, when you were yelling and screaming at her, it was making me feel physically ill. You have to understand the decorum of the situation you're in. She did not deserve that. The names that you were calling her, when you pretty much try to dehumanize a person and do it repeatedly, what does it look like for a tall, strong, loud, hostile man yelling at a small, soft-spoken woman, no matter what you think she did? It's just not right for anyone, man and woman. I'm just saying I'm so disappointed. It hurt my feelings to see you do that in every meeting. We have to spend 30 minutes with your anger at the mayor. But you should spread that out. You should be angry at me because I'm glad we did the deal, and seeing how everybody acts, I would have done the same thing. Because the idea, I think about my grandmother's uncles who came here to get land for their nieces generations before I was born, and the sacrifices they made. It's about, and they had to go through unspeakable stuff. I'm just saying, I feel like we just keep digging. We're just, every time we come in here, we're digging because we're angry. I respect your anger. I understand your feelings. It hurt my feelings too when I saw the video. But I thought, okay, that I heard who's with. Dr. Phillips' reputation precedes them, just like our reputation is damaging to us the way it precedes us from things in the past. I want to say one other thing. Councilman Washington, when you suggested that the mayor be prosecuted, I was stunned. I couldn't believe that came out of your mouth. You said it twice. And then you said she made a backdoor deal. No, it was behind closed doors. And you said they're the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. And to sit here and say, and then it's like you guys wait till it's 1,000 cameras here to like demonize each other. It's not necessary. It's just to suggest that she be prosecuted. I feel like that was wholly unfair. We don't have relationships. We don't understand power. When Councilwoman Randolph made a suggestion, we might want to be warm and fuzzy. You might want to be. We don't have votes. We never have votes. Accept the place that you're in and work in that place. That's all we need to do. And stop digging a hole. And the mayor and I, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But one day she said, Irby, put down your weapons and come in here. And we talked through some things that we could work together on. That's leadership. And I respect that. You know, we got to do better. We got to elevate. This is embarrassing. And mayor, I need you to use that gavel. I need you to use the gavel. Please. Please, whether it's directed at you or anybody, it goes on way too long, and it's disrespectful to the citizens' time to keep hearing the same. We got to move. We got to move.
Man, yeah. You got more time.
Angela Thomas.
Good afternoon. But to expound on what Ms. Joyce said, I did talk to Mr. Prinker. We was at the second meeting, and this man was all over everything. And I was just trying to figure out who he was and what can he do to help us since he seemed so involved. But that's null and void because anyway, my question is, we asked for a 30-day extension. The agreement was signed on September 30th. So you got October 30th, that's 30 days. You got November the 30th, that's 60 days. You got December 30th, 90 days. So you're asking them for 30 more days. I mean, for 90 more days from there. So my question is, and I had a pastor to tell me, when you see yourself in a bind, do you let that situation get the best of you, or you try to figure out a way to get the best of the situation? And what I can see, and this is my opinion, is that we continue to argue and debate over the exact same thing. But we know the comp plan is not up to date. We know the master plan wasn't done. So do we continue to argue and stab each other, throw rocks at each other? Or do we look positive and try to figure out a way to do what's best for the town of Eatonville? So we can't continue to bash and beat, because if that's the case, you gotta bash and beat me too, because I was on council and I didn't like some of the things. But when I went to the meeting and in those classes, the gentleman told me, well, why you don't like it, Miss Thomas? I said, just because I don't. I guess probably because I didn't think of it. He said, don't you know that that is detrimental to your community? Because if you're there to do what's best for the community, whether you like it or not, you still have to vote for it. I hated the Hannibal Square Land Trust because I didn't like it. But there were people that wanted to live in one Park. So my job was to make sure that they had comfortable places to live in one Park. So I'm going to ask you guys, we may not like anything, but that oath that you took, you said you was going to do what's best for the town of Eatonville. It don't have anything to do with your feelings. I mean, I'm offended too. I'm mad too. But I know I have to do what's best for the town of Eatonville. If we don't like Dr. Phillips, do you let that situation get the best of you and you continue to argue and stab people in the back? Or do you work to make these things update and do what's best for the town of Eatonville?
Man,
Ruthie Creek.
Good evening, council, staff, residents, visitors, Ruby Cregan, Beach Street. My questions tonight are about the tourism master plan. Just a couple that I thought of while reviewing the documents that I'm hoping that you guys might be able to address when y'all get to that topic tonight. Is it possible to bring up any parallel stories of other communities that might have an asset inventory that's similar to Eatonville's that have been successful with receiving the TDT dollars? Because I know that this is like a foundational plan to get us in position for that. Can we also address whether or not we have any collaborative relations with the owners of these inventories, or if there's any plan to, as it relates to the master plan? And are we currently eligible for any TDT dollars? I was under the impression that we had a representative on that board for the town of Eatonville with the county. And if not, I know that there is some information about the different levels of aggression that we're intending to potentially implement to accomplish these things, but can we talk about the timeline of implementation? Like, I know that there is some intent to maybe do some restoration and some collaboration in the plan, but can we talk about what that timeline looks like and when we can anticipate actually either applying for or receiving some of those funds, and how this master plan will help us do that? That's it. Thank you.
And our last one is Angela John.
Good afternoon, Mayor, elected officials, residents, fresh off the plane, to tell you. So in my leaving today, I did watch the 4-hour meeting, work plan. And I will send an email to the board for OCPS, only because I think that them making a statement suggesting that the Eatonville Town Council was stonewall Dr. Phillips in the Hungerford development process, I thought that was demeaning, unfounded, and irresponsible due to their lack of an understanding of our comprehensive plan. We know that our comprehensive plan may need to be amended in order for all of the things that are in the MOU, now proposed sale and purchase contract, are not currently in our comp plan. So there may be a need for there to be a comp plan amendment. So for them to make those statements without a full comprehension of our comprehensive plan, a mouthful, I think that we need to make sure that they understand. And unfortunately, this would have been something, Mayor Gardner, that you would have brought to their attention at the time that you acknowledged the MOU. So we need to move forward. I think there needs to be some clear understanding of their plans for not just the remaining 90, 80 acres, but the 17 on the other end. Everyone keeps talking about that they have outlined these 5 different deliverables or milestones. And you cannot tell me that they're entering into a purchase contract without a plan. And I think we need to hold their feet to the fire and have them definitely share with us what their plan is. I think that the sales price is not the fair market value. They skirted over that today in saying that years ago it appraised at 20, but years ago it was at 12. So we're moving along with this. Where would you ever sell a piece of land without a current appraisal? Nowhere. So why is it that, excuse my language, the town of Eatonville is constantly shitted on? And we accept it. Can't do it in Winter Park, can't do it in Maitland, can't do it in Windermere. We can't do it in any affluent communities. Let's stop allowing people to crap on us. I'm not, and we know that the prior administrations, yes, there have been mistakes made. And if I was an OCPS board member, I would probably be tired of you asking for extensions as well. But you have not come with a clear plan. But however, now you have the opportunity to demand to be at the table as a party to the agreement. Thank you.
That was the last one.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is the consent agenda for items 1 and 2. Is there a motion? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Consent agenda passed. The approval and for council decision, approval and authorization to proceed with fabricated buildings to meet DOJ requirements. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, it has been approved. You ready? And final item is approval of resolution 2026-1, adopting a tourism master plan. It's being championed by Councilman Washington. And I guess during your opening, there are questions from the floor you can address as well.
Yes, this, do we need to reprint? First of all, what questions? Reprint.
I can read it before, or I can read it after his
The
introduction.
questions.
Well,
But, okay, this is one of the things that 5-year vision, 2026 to 2031, that we have not been at the table with TDT dollars. Never, ever, ever. So this is the start of us being at the table, putting this plan together. You gotta have a plan. We sit there and say we don't have a plan for anything else. This is a plan that we must start. And this is the start. So the events we do here, the historic sites we have here, those are accounted for. People come visit Eatonville on a daily basis. We're not getting anything, we did not logging anything in partnership with other people, other things like Zor, those things there. This is a start. And when they see this here, you bring in people to your community, they will say, well, you're doing this here, so this is the good start of you at the table saying, okay, you got Zor, you got this event, you got this event, you got this building, this culture building, you got this hotel, whatever. That's a part of your cultural history, where people stay, former people stay at. So this is a start for the town of Eatonville to start getting those dollars. And like you said, no plan, we lost. We had a loss. So that's why I brought this to the town, to the council, so we can get a start on at least at the table with tourist tax dollars. And that's one of the reasons why. And when we pass this and we need to start getting those dollars or trying to at least be at the table to try to get the dollars. And that's one of the things that we never done. And that's what a vision is when you sit up here as a leader or whatever. You have a vision and say, let's go after this here. So that's my reason why I'm bringing this forward to the council. We get this in the books with a resolution so we can start. And once we get started, we go further on when we have the staff with the town and the CRA going after dollars. Thank you.
Before you read the plan, I do have a question. Is this a CRA?
It's the town's, no, it's the town. It's the town in CRA. Town administration, CRA development request, town council adopt.
So did the CRA board review this plan? Did it have community meetings? How can the town approve a document that's with the CRA? Because it was done by the CRA director. Did the CRA board approve the CRA director? And did they approve the plan in order for the CRA director to present this to the town council?
Not at the moment, we didn't do that with CRA board, but this is a start, putting a resolution on the table to start.
That was gonna be one of my questions also, because I want to make sure that we vetted this before bringing it forward. Especially when we're dealing with another entity such as CRA, which doesn't apply with anything that the town has going on right now. So I think it'll probably be, our best decision to make the best educated decision on tabling this item until we can further, look into it more and vet it a lot more than just sitting there opposed to voting up or down. If it rather pass or fail, it's not gonna do you any justice. So I think, in regards to that, I think the best idea to do is to table this item and we can probably workshop it, with CRA as well as the town, and then come to the conclusion on what we need to do moving forward versus sitting here voting our conviction on something that we're not really, understanding at this moment, because I'm trying to wrap my head around it as well to concur with Mayor. So I think that'll probably be our best suggestion is to, table this item as of now. That's just my, like I said, I'm only one vote, so.
I think this item also needs to be tabled and actually it needs to be workshop. It needs to go back to the CRA. And from there, then we could be able to move forward here with the town. But this is, it sounds very good and it looks good, but you got to have other things in place to make sure that this master plan is carried out. It doesn't specify as to who's doing what. Are you going to have tour guides? I mean, what is the really plan? It all sounds great, but it goes more than just what the tourism plan, master plan is all about. You got to have things in place to make sure that this is aligned with tourism. And give you an example. One of the pages I saw where you had the Moses House and PEC. PEC gets funds from TBT. So does this kind of duplicate what they are already doing?
No, it helps the resolution, it helps plan master plan. That's the only thing is about, I know they get those dollars, they get dollars to the PEC, but this is the big picture to everybody's on this, the part of this master plan. Let's get the funds. That's why people come to Eatonville. This is all about tourist dollars being spent with, or with any events that we can get dollars from.
So, Mayor and Council, I will tell you from the staff aspect, we have already started looking at this as well. And, when Vice Mayor brought it, I told him we were already researching. Because one key point is knowing what inventory we have. So I can concur with you all on the table and maybe we can workshop it together. That we need to know what inventory, because before we go to TDT, we need to know what services and what inventory we have to offer. And part of that I have said to you all before is I think we need to get the entities within the town of Eatonville that's going to be involved with tourism all together. And it needs to be one master plan of putting everything together. Because if we go individuals going and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I'm only gonna service 100 or 200 people, they're looking at that, that's a backyard party. But if we say that within the whole year, we're gonna service 50,000 people, we're gonna say 100,000 to sponsors, to government, and to everybody, that's more appeasing for their tax dollars and their sponsorship money to go towards. So I think it is crucial that we go back and we fine tune this and we work together.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't see, in this plan, how do you measure and how do you calculate the number of visitors that comes to Eatonville? And what plan do we have to estimate how many, the economic impact as well as millions of dollars to the economy? So all of those are basic, key questions that, really concern me.
Sure.
So I think, we just need to just look at it a little more and come up with some solutions as to how you're going to make an impact on the tourism. How does that impact Eatonville? I can say this, even for my church, St. Lawrence, we get continuous visitors from time to time. So if there's not a dialogue or something records kept, how would you measure the success? It's more than just having these weekend entertainment events that we have here. It goes further than that. We're talking about cultural, real cultural for Eatonville. And I think this is something here that I think we need to look at a little bit more. And that's all.
Like,
It's not a bad plan.
no, right, I mean, I understand where everybody coming from, but this is the problem we had in the past, where we did have hundreds of thousands of people coming to town to Eatonville for event resort. That's where we lost it at, and we didn't keep those numbers. And we haven't been keeping them to this day. True, we don't have numbers, but we know we have people come to this community. Whatever event, whatever goes on, we have things going on in place to start saying, we have this going on. We have this going on this year. Even with MLK, we bring in tens of thousands of people through it. Do we keep a number on that? No, we don't. But it's to start saying, this is what you see on film, pictures, whatever we have to show them. Since we don't have a login sheet saying what's what. So it's just a start. It's just a start. I mean, we could take it to the workshop and front on it, but it's a start that we start recognizing these events so we can be at the table. So with inventory, events, whatever, it's a start. So however they distribute the money to communities, that's what we say, this is what we have.
So Vice Mayor, if I can give you a suggestion, I would say we're going to be making a tourism cohort. And what we need to do is gather that data from those other organizations and compile it. And then we can have a strong enough case to be able to outline. And then that may outline some of the things that we run into when we have competing events on the same day, the same weekend, and all those things. Because what we want to do is we don't want to be using taxpayer dollars, our taxpayer dollars, to fund events and all that. We want to have sponsors and other people that's willing to come in. And then along that line, as we've been talking today at the school board, we want businesses to be able to say, hey, they have this many people coming through. Let me bring my business now to the town of Eatonville. So now we get tax dollars from them to be able to suffice what we have to go on.
And that's part of having a community event calendar. You have an event calendar showing these events laid out month to month, week to week. That's the start. But we don't have that. We don't have a start. So that's the event calendar that we need to have. So it's a start. I mean, it's a vision, and like I said, you're supposed to have a vision when you're up here. Everybody should have a vision of whatever department they're recreation, sports, youth, all that stuff we need to have. But this is the vision that we need to carry out for those dollars. And those are tax dollars that they stripped out. So of course, we're gonna use some of the tax dollars. Thank you.
I have a general question. Does this have anything to do with, Club Eaton project?
That's part of the historic, part of the tourist dollars that we can use. That's one of the inventory spots that we will use, that area. The hotel is the area will be used. That's it. Yes.
We got a motion on the floor to table this item.
I don't think we did the motion. We were still.
I mean, we workshop it.
Okay.
We got some movie and everything, but it's like I said, we need to start with a plan. And
Great idea, great.
like I said, we fine tune it to whoever individuals like it, seeing it.
Great opportunity.
All right.
Table it.
So it has been adjusted that it be tabled to a later date. Is there motion?
So moved.
So it's been moved and seconded? Yes, ma'am.
Should the preamble have been read before decision is made?
It's not gonna hurt. You wanna read it, but I don't. But I don't.
But it's been tabled,
Why?
so.
We're just.
Yeah, we're not
tabling
moving
the
forward
whole
making
item.
the decision on it, so I
Yeah.
don't think it need to be.
So, yeah, I don't think it needs to be, because
Yeah, we're not actually moving forward making a decision, so.
so we are tabling, the motions to table the approval of resolution 2026-1. So it has been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. All right, the item has been tabled. We're now,
Before going to our reports, I would like to put a motion on the floor also, just in case, we don't get what we want over at Orange County OCPS School Board, I'm not saying litigation wise, but I just need to know what, format we need to move into, that will be best for the town, from a legal perspective, moving forward to, protect us. So I will request that we have a special meeting on Monday. If anybody's available, I don't know if you want to do a poll on that, to see if all will be available Monday at whatever time. Anybody up there? I suggest at 6 o'clock. Because I think this is a matter that needs to be addressed sooner than later. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do it Tuesday. Because that's the day of the meeting, the 13th of next week, correct? CEO?
Yes, they're having a meeting. They
That
haven't
morning,
put,
right?
they haven't put an agenda out. Let me check right now. I know earlier today they said an agenda was not posted yet,
For that particular item,
but they hold an agenda.
depending on what's on the agenda. If it's on there, I would like to put a motion on the floor to see what our possibilities are, from a legal perspective.
I will tell you, Councilman, from the 3.5, 4 hour meeting today, that they had all intentions of keeping it on the agenda.
Okay, well, I want to move forward with my motion then for a special meeting on scheduled for Tuesday of next week. Tuesday, yeah. That's the
Is
day
that
of
something that requires a vote?
Oh, after the meeting, after we
Do we
Now,
require a vote for
You
me?
just have to do a poll, I guess.
Yeah, and all of you all are here. I guess I could poll you right now. And that might not be the right word.
Right now.
I'm putting a motion on the floor, we can move forward with, but however it goes, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different ways you can do a lot of different things. So we can either do it this way, or we can do it the way that you want to do it. So it's more and more with the skin of cat.
So what is your motion to just for a special meeting?
For a special meeting for Tuesday of next week to discuss whatever decision we need to move forward with, making if things don't go in the direction that that would be the better for the town. And what I'm saying by that, subject to us getting what we want, not the agreement that they're trying to hand us. So, and then we'll have more discussion on that during that time, during that special meeting up next week. Because I think it's gonna be.
For the record, so that I'm clear, the motion is
To have a
to
special
have
meeting
special
on
meeting.
next Tuesday,
Okay.
based on the outcome of their decision making over at OCPS
for discussion.
for discussion. And decision. so we can discussion plus decision. Cause we need to make a decision on if we're gonna move forward with, possibly litigation, because that's in the direction that I wanna go in, if things are not going in the, manner that I would see on next Tuesday, because I will be in that meeting also. Was that?
Oh, we meet with Dr. Phillips on that same day. No, that's on 13th.
All right, 20.
That's school board meeting that I will be at.
Next Tuesday.
Time is that meeting?
So the meeting is at 5 p.m. So I think if that's the case, if their meeting is January
Tuesday,
13th at 5 p.m., we won't be able to be in both places. So
All right, well, let's do it for Wednesday then. Either way it go, it need to happen, depending on the outcome of their decision. Now, if they move forward with doing something that we're in compliance with, we don't have to have a special meeting, we can call it off.
so
I wanna do it in a timely manner, because if I suggest that we do it after their meeting, it has to be in a timely manner, which is 72 hours within the time that we're actually requesting, so that could be the following week.
So
You know what I'm saying? So
and I understand your passion, Councilman Mack. I will state that whatever the outcome is on the 13th, they're not gonna be bulldozers and all those things in place.
we understand that, that's common sense.
Right, so I would say, and you all can chime in, and cause I'm here at your leisure. I would say if we hold off until the 20th, that would give us time to get facts and things in order, talk along with legal counsel or whoever to get recommendations or whatever. But if we go right into a meeting the next day without being able to have someone to digest everything that they happen to take place in that day, I think we're gonna be calling another special meeting right after that.
All right, well, if this board concur with what the CAO wants to do, and I'm trusting your expertise and, moving forward with making these decisions, that's why we got to sit in that seat. I'm in favor of it, as opposed to, doing the special meeting that I'm suggesting. Now, if there's something that,
Comes out that is way out left field,
yeah, we need to have a special meeting.
then if you call a special meeting, then we can have one as early as what, Friday, Miss King?
Yes,
Yeah.
72 hours.
Yeah, so we can have one as early
Yeah,
as
so
Friday.
we'll lean in that direction more so than what I suggested. So, of course, I'll take my motion back. I don't think anybody, moved it or seconded it, so it failed anyway.
And I'm already saying, Councilman Mack, on the 20th is the day that we will have Dr. Phillips there and all that. So if we need it, or if need be, we could possibly, Mayor Council, ask for an early meeting depending on if you think it's gonna take more than an hour on the 20th.
The earlier the better, because I don't, it's over a week later that we'll be actually meeting with them after the decision been made. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't make any sense to me. I wanna meet with them ASAP. I don't wanna sit here and play games about, our community.
I do. So here's what I'm hearing. I was at that meeting today. They are going to vote this thing in favor of Dr. Phillips. I can really just say period, right? So ain't no need of us sitting here acting like that's not gonna happen, and that is not what we heard. That is exactly what we heard, right? So what Councilman Mack said, and then I know that we're scheduled to meet with them on the 20th. Dr. Phillips. I suggest that we do need to meet before we see Dr. Phillips. We need to get ourselves together.
Right.
You understand? We gotta get ourselves together and stop running around here.
Right.
Stop it. Yep. So before we meet with Dr. Phillips, we gotta stop this madness, y'all. Go home, do your research, let's do our due diligence, okay? And let's get in the game. All right, let's get in the game. I suggest we meet whatever day you say. If you want to do it, not that Tuesday.
Yeah, before we with Dr. Phillips, so it can probably be that Friday.
You know, don't do that, but we need to meet ourselves before we meet with Dr. Phillips. We heard these people say that they are definitely gonna move forward with this deal with Dr. Phillips.
The 20th is on that Monday.
So
20th.
CRA meeting is,
20th is the Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday, it's the 20th is our next council meeting,
Okay.
yeah, so CRA meeting is gonna be next Thursday.
the
So
15th.
the 15th. Do we have anything on that Wednesday, Ms. King?
No, we don't have any board meeting on the 14th.
So the 14th.
That one's-
That's Wednesday.
Of next week.
So
Today.
So to Councilwoman Jordan's point, as I stated now for the third meeting, we have to get something on paper because like you said, we're spinning our wheels, continually chasing a cat and we ain't put a cage out. So if we don't put a cage out and have, you like my analysis, man? If we don't, if we don't want it, and in order for us to properly do this with the attorney and with you all, we gotta get something on paper. I know we have a lot of thoughts in our head and all that, but we have to have a collective approach to how we deal with this situation. So basically, if you put down your pros, cons, where you neutral at, what we can do is we'll put all the pros together, we'll put all the cons together, put all the neutrals together. So when we get ready to analyze it, I can send it back out to y'all individually and we can redline it that way. So then the time we get to the meeting, we can have somewhat of a tight document so we're not all scattered all over the place.
Let's do that. So that'll be on a what day would that be? That we had a special meeting?
Wednesday,
Of
the
next week.
14th.
Yeah, the 14th.
Y'all haven't set a time.
That works for you?
I literally have to check myself. But I had a
What
question.
about?
I did have a question. So this is like the fourth meeting and you've made that request that you get the information before the meeting. Have you gotten any information before the meeting?
Councilwoman Randolph.
I verbally told him. I don't have to send an email unless you just want the paper.
No, I'm saying you sent something in writing, Councilwoman.
And the meeting is to discuss is to prepare for the meeting with Dr. Phillips, which I assume
Essentially,
is
what our
going
next
to
step would be.
include the contract elements. And
What
what
can
the
we
next
do?
steps.
Yeah, what can we do legally to protect us? That's pretty much my whole reason for wanting to do it anyway, you know what I'm saying? But then that he included what he's already suggested anyway. And I know I talked to you verbally about what I want to do, but I will send it to you in email too. That way we have a paper trail on it. But I think we need to move forward with doing something that's gonna be like-minded. And I know a lot of times we gotta be able to agree to disagree on some things also, but with that being said, man, let's move forward with doing that. So it'll be two things that we'll be tackling at once, whatever that we want to see on this particular master plan that they're proposing, that we can make changes on top of what legal standards that we have. And not saying that we're gonna put any litigations on anybody, right? What can we do from the lawyers telling us? I know he spoke his truth on how he feel about things, but just because he's a lawyer don't mean I have to agree with it. Cause I don't a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Do I take his advice with legal things? Yes, I do. But that don't mean I have to agree with him on everything that he says either. That's just my thoughts on that.
And what I would do, I'll send this to you all. They have this up under consent 15.04 of their approved legal and audit items. And they give a background of it and all that kind of stuff. So it's all there. So like I said, if we can bring together, as Councilwoman Jordan has said, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna go forward. So we can't hash what we've gone through. We need to be determining now that this action takes place. What are we doing next?
That's
You know,
why
what are our
that's why I'm
requirements?
suggesting what's our next move. That's why I'm putting a special meeting together.
So, right, so Councilman Mack, I would tell you in this, and Attorney Sheriff chime in, I would tell you all, this has been, it has to be a unified thing because we cannot go back to the school board of Dr. Phillips as individuals saying, well, you know, Councilman
That's why
Mack
we're
said
having a
that.
special meeting. That's why I'm suggesting that we have a special meeting. That's what I'm requesting. That's what I put a motion on the floor to do. We either gonna vote it up or down. I don't wanna sit here and keep going back and forth about it either. I understand what we need to do. I understand what's in front of us right now. We either gonna vote it up or we're gonna vote it down.
And I think we're just gonna get a roll call. I mean, a roll, we can make it.
So why keep going back and forth about this and what they're gonna do and
I think it had already been determined that there is a special meeting.
So you have,
Scheduled for Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
so we have a quorum already.
there's nothing else?
If no one on the diocese, are you available? That's not available for Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Next Wednesday? Next Wednesday, the 14th. No. Okay, Councilwoman Randolph is not available.
On Wednesday.
Anybody else that's not?
14th, right?
The 14th, Wednesday. This is the week leading up to, the parade.
Yeah,
MLK.
already 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get there.
Will we have a quorum?
6 o'clock.
If the two that are not available, will we still have a quorum? If everybody else say that they're available?
Quorum is
Three. Yes, so do we have
So,
three?
yeah, if we have a quorum, we can, and you can always send your information in advance, you know, meet with Mr. Andrews.
So you
Provide
can understand that. Everybody got personal things to take care of. I get it.
So Wednesday, the 14th,
14th at 6 p.m.
14th, that's it.
And we do have, you're available,
I don't know yet.
so I'll send an email out.
Yeah, so it appears to me that we don't have necessarily a quorum yet, so we'll follow procedure tomorrow. We'll send an email. But if we have individual Zoom meetings, then collectively,
Yes.
I mean, I can meet with them individually, but it's no way they're gonna be able to hear each other's thoughts and be able to elaborate on it if we do it that way.
And I think it's best done the way that it's done now in this setting, because I can't talk to you outside. I can't talk to you outside of here, especially when you're making decisions because of the sunshine. Anybody that knows anything about ethics and how that works, no, we can't do that. That's why I'm suggesting that we have a meeting. What's so hard about having a special meeting that is?
You don't know if you got a quorum.
We don't know if you have a quorum.
I know, but
So if you don't have-
Is there another date that
what fix this?
available?
What fix this guy? We can hear now. It's a Tuesday. We here?
What you gotta realize is you don't wanna go in front of these people doing this stuff the way that we've been doing it. Please check your calendars. What day will you all be available? If not, we just gonna keep on doing the same thing.
Exactly.
You need to get it together, people. Yes, we have been having special meetings. I agree. We all got things to do. Please check your calendar. What day will we be available? Don't go in front of these people doing the same thing the same way we've been doing it.
Right.
That's why we get these results.
I agree. So
Either you in or you not.
that's it.
Question is this here.
Ain't no in between.
The meeting is the 13th. You all said you needed to have a special meeting after the meeting. So we don't
Now
have,
before a meeting with Dr. Phillips. So that's on the 20th. So even though we have a meeting on the 19th, when is the 19th?
Holiday.
that's Friday.
That's a holiday.
That's MLK. So
That's Monday.
this is the other suggestion. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that is a holiday.
it's you all call.
Yeah.
I can also go back to them if you don't want to do the 20th. I can push it to the first council meeting in February, but that's your decision on how y'all want to do it.
I think we need to talk. We need to talk.
It's not gonna get it done, boy.
But I think we definitely need to put something in place now. That's what I'm suggesting. And put a motion on the floor to meet the full meeting with Dr. Phillips. We can't meet with, I can meet with you, but I can't meet with the same body that I sit with.
Without being in public.
That's what you gotta understand. And especially when you're talking about you got the best interest of town of Eatonville, it's hard to tell a lot of times. With the leadership that I sit up here with, and I'm just being honest, and I respect everybody up here, but if you're not gonna push the envelope of doing something that's gonna be substantially important for this community, what are we doing? Like Councilwoman where I say, what are we doing right now? You know what I'm saying?
So,
What are we doing?
Councilwoman Randolph, unless she's changed her mind, she said no, I've said no, there are 3 left. You have a yes or no?
I would have to check.
And this is for the 14th, so we still
Just
have.
somebody that time, you said 14?
So I just sent an email.
Just told us.
Yeah,
Just sent an email.
so in the essence of time, we'll poll you all tomorrow morning, for the 14th.
Yeah, for the sake of this meeting, because I'm tired of talking about being this dead horse, so yeah, just vote.
I just have one thing, Attorney Shepherd,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know it said something in the meeting, if Dr. Phillips Charity sell property, and I put an offer up to have the town have the first right of refusal on any property that being sold.
Right.
I know they was talking about that, and I think they trying to put it in the contract. Can we make sure we push that? That's what I want to see in the contract, that Dr. Phillips sell any property. Go ahead, attorney.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why I suggested that right away we reach out to Dr. Phillips and see where they're coming from. Because I could be wrong, because maybe y'all have talked to him and I don't know about it. I know I haven't talked to him. I don't know where their head's at. As I mentioned, we've got 4 or 5 projects, and I find out now that even one of them I was giving them credit for, even that was in our discussion of a master plan. So as far as I know, none of the projects that are on that sheet are our projects or their projects. They were projects that the school board wanted and thought we would be embracing. So I think, and that's why I said, I think there's an opportunity to talk to Dr. Phillips and say, hey, what will you work with us? And on the right of first refusal, I was actually surprised that the people from Dr. Phillips didn't say today, sure, we'll do a right of first refusal. But I suspect the reason is they have to go back and get board approval. But I don't expect them to say no to that, because a right of first refusal just simply says, okay, if we get an offer for this piece of property that we think is one that we should accept, we will let you buy it for the same terms. If it's a cash offer, that's what you have to offer. If it's a term offer with over time payments and financing, then you have to meet that. So that's how the right of first refusal works. And I think it will be a no-brainer for them to say yes to it. The only question is, can they hurry up and put it in the contract? I could get it in there in about an hour. So, but not everybody's me. So I can't really tell you whether they would get it done or not get it done. But I know it could be done.
That's one of the things they want to add to men that put it in their contract. I know there was the general counsel was trying to try to when they added that, and they had questions about how to do that work.
Yeah, it's not hard, and it's they can make it sound. Look, it's like a car salesman trying to make a car deal look more complicated than it is. It's basically, you want the car, this is how much it's going to cost. It takes 4 hours to get there, but that's the deal. Okay, so that's where we are here. It's if you want it in there and they don't object, it's literally a clause you can search. You could Google it from your chair right now and find one and stick it in there. It's not hard.
So that's what we need to work on. If you talk with the general counsel over at OCP. So let's try to put that in the clause in that contract, because I think it's trying to that's all. That's one of the main things we need to have in there.
You think it's an option with meeting with Dr. Phillips before they meet, before OCPS do their decision?
Yeah, you can meet with
I think that'll probably be something more ideal too. That way they'll really have an understanding on where we're coming from, because I think in a nutshell, what they're looking at is like, they don't have no plan, they don't know, they have nothing to present to us. So that's why we're gonna move forward with whatever the OCPS board wants to do, right? So I think if we meet with Dr. Phillips, if you can reach out to them and be like, hey, listen, council want to meet with you before meeting with the school board, while they can give you their recommendations on what they want to move forward with, and then OCPS be like, you know what, okay, we're subject to do that, and we're in agreement with it too. Whatever that we suggest that we can add into the equation of whatever that they're proposing, I think that'll probably work out better versus sitting here waiting for a result that we're not necessarily gonna probably get, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? It's in our face. Oh, I feel a lot better by saying, you know what, these are our proposals. And then with them saying, you know what, we agree with these proposals that you guys want to make or suggest. And then present it to OCPS, and they'll see what's in front of them and say, you know what, we agree. That's when you got everybody sitting at the table versus 2 people versus OCPS in Dr. Phillips Foundation and not having, us sitting at the table with them. So this way, everybody be at the table before making their decision.
So Councilman Mack, on December 23rd, I forwarded you all as the board, copy of the email from Mr. Ken Robinson at 10:21 a.m. And he said that he would be willing to meet, but they will meet after the sign on January 13th. But
So they don't want to meet before that.
I can reach back out to him, but that's what, I conveyed to you all, okay, but I can reach back out.
Yeah, if you can, that'd definitely be helpful, man. And I don't like the way that sounded either. But, I knew that, that's why I'm suggesting that we meet with them again, see if we can, if you don't, the only thing you can tell me is no. Okay,
So what I can do is, I can see if I can set up individual meetings with you all.
that'll probably work better.
And you all can convey that way, if we cannot get a form back together.
Yeah, we can, hopefully we can, but if not, let's definitely meet with them before, if they're subject to want to do it. You know what I'm saying, before the meeting with, the decision making that the CPS is gonna make. I think we'd be doing ourselves justice by doing that versus sitting here waiting for the result and hoping for the best when we know we're gonna probably get something that we're not gonna be, really, happy and satisfied with. So,
Well, I'll tell you, Councilman, on today, the way they did it for the record, they said it and they can contest it, that was there. They said for the record, they would be in favor of it, and then in reference to, Vice Mayor thing, first right of refusal, they said if that was gonna hold up the contract, that they still wanted to go forward, and then that they would come back and do, amendment. They did say, OCPS did state that they will be open to amendment, so if the
Okay.
town of Eatonville and Dr. Phillips Charities come to a consensus on something within the contract, I'll just use this for example, i.e., the medical part, the hub, that, the town don't think that the medical hub will be suffice and that Dr. Phillips agrees with it, and we come back and say we wanna put, a sports complex there in that place. As long as we agree with them, they're most likely to amend it, because that's when the discussion came into context in dealing with who has the right, that it had to go back to the school board instead of the superintendent. I guess that they had issues before what superintendent signed off.
but then that with the amendment part, that will come from Dr. Phillips Foundation.
But no,
Because OCPS is gonna be in agreement with them
no.
purchasing the property.
Per the conversation, they said that if the town of Eatonville, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if the town of Eatonville and Dr. Phillips Charities want to make an amendment within the contract and it's viable, they'll be willing to take that recommendation, because they understand after they put the sale out, it's really between the town of Eatonville and Dr. Phillips Charities.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's why Dr. Phillips would be subject for the amendment versus the school, won't it? Or am I looking at this like?
They would have to submit, and attorney, you can jump in.
Yeah,
They would have to submit to, because they're the party that's to the contract.
Right.
So they will go back to OCPS and say, hey, we have talked with the town of Eatonville, they voted by resolution that we want to change this. We're in agreement with it. We want to make an amendment to the contract.
Okay.
And like the early learning center, Huntsville have 180 seats available. And that's one of the things that we need to look at, combining Hungerford instead of building an early learning center, incorporated with the school. So they did talk of one Gallo, she did mention that, how many empty seats we have at Hungerford. So, and I know the early learning center will be on 2 acres, but if we can get it on Hungerford property, that we can save that property too. So that's something we need to put in.
I'm in hopes that we get the quorum that we need.
But that's some of the things we gotta look at.
We need to have this discussion.
Right. If they have seats over there and we don't need an early learning center built, we can.
And those, and counseling, man, those are the things that we need to be preparing for, to have a talk with.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are the things of how do we collaborate to get to the next level, because as Councilwoman Jordan said, if I counted the votes, it's the votes are there. I mean, the writing's on the wall.
Hey, people change their mind all the time, man. How many times you say you're gonna vote for somebody, you get to the polls and go another way? Just been, just, you
So we're
know.
gonna do a poll.
I have Ms. King poll tomorrow morning.
All right, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go into our comments.
Okay,
Yeah,
Simple, thank everybody for coming out. Thank you all for trusting the process, and we will get through this. I know there's a lot of history behind this, but I do think that there's possibilities if we all come together and be a collective body. There's been a lot said, so I'm gonna, MLK is coming up. We'll have more information for you all very soon, on that. We're trying to get everything lined up. I think a lot of parades are lacking people this year for some reason, but we're working on that. But we look forward to it. If anyone want to become a vendor, want to be a participant in the parade, you can go to our website. And I just want to thank you all again. Condolences to the Cole family. Condolences to everyone who has lost someone. And let's just continue to keep Eatonville lifted. That's the end of my report.
all right, thank you.
Yes, condolences to the families that have lost loved ones, Cole family. I also wanted to just remind you that qualifying week is coming up. 10 days away. Public, if you're interested in running for a political seat on the diocese, qualifying week starts on the 16th and it ends on the 23rd, from Friday to Friday. If you currently serve on a board or are a member of the council and you want to run for a seat, today is the day you have to submit your letter of resignation for an effective resignation date of March the 15th. No later than March the 15th.
Yeah, 15.
March.
March.
15th.
No.
March.
March 15th. Yeah.
It has to be.
When they put their resignation in, it's not
Oh, yeah,
effective immediately, but
correct.
it has to
You're
be
correct.
effective before the day of swearing in.
Correct.
Yes, so, just wanted to let you know that anybody that's interested.
That's it.
That is it.
All right, Attorney Shepherd, do you have any remarks?
Can you hear me still? Because one of my earbuds went out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be quick. I wanted to let you know that notwithstanding these last rough week or two, it is still my privilege to represent this town. And I'm hopeful that we will get what the town needs. And if we come together, I'm certain of it.
That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Washington left. I was going to address him, but he left. Councilwoman Randolph.
Yes, we've had a very good discussion tonight. Our condolences to the Cole family, and also happiness and happy new year to everyone here. And thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Councilwoman Latwina.
Again, just like we've all said, condolences to the Cole family, much love. And that's it. Thank y'all for coming out. CAO, in terms of the MLK parade, I think probably like a week and a half away. We good with that? I mean, I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah, it's been put out there. For you all, there will be vehicles. The float thing was extraordinary cost, and I'm being very cost effective right now on not spending extra funds, as we have a lot of endeavors going on. So sit yellow.
You have, you'll give us that.
No, we got some
Oh, can I get an email last?
Yeah, I'm
update on really what's happening. I know I'm New York, but it's it. They said Pray on something.
I got you, I got you, Councilwoman, and hopefully in years to come, we'll be able.
Yes.
I got you, Councilwoman.
That's it.
All right, Councilman.
Hey, listen, thanks everybody for coming out this evening. I really appreciate everybody coming out and engaged in town business. It's important that we, come out and be involved. You know what I'm saying? If you have any questions or concerns, that's what we got this podium up there for people to come up there and speak their truth, how they really feel about their community, especially when you live here. And, just the top of my list, man, my condolences to anybody that have suffered any loss, in this community surrounding, or family members or what have you, but especially to the Cole family. I can't speak enough on how much he meant to me. He's the reason that I sit in the seat right here. He's a person that shaped my life, my career, the reason that I am who I am today, you know, as a man. You know, he taught me how to be a man. And he's the epitome of, you know, impact. Anybody that he's came in touch with, he impacted them in such a way to lift their level of thinking. Even when I didn't believe in myself, he believed in me. And I can't thank him enough for just pointing to me. And, you know, he's the reason I went to college. He's the reason I wear bow ties up here. For real. And you know, my condolences to the family, man. Love you. Alex, you're not my friend, you're my family. And this was hard yesterday, man. You know what I'm saying? My heart goes out to you and your family, man. And I can't speak enough on how much it meant to me. So, but that being said, my condolences to you and your family. Also, I wanted to speak on the behalf of what was said with a particular person that got up here and made a comment about me speaking to the mayor in a manner that she didn't like. Listen, I got a job to do up here. I've never disrespected the mayor. I don't think I've never called her out her name. I heard that being said. Never in my life. I got a mother that's sitting in that back over there, and she can attest that I have a mother and a sister. I respect any woman, especially when it comes to a woman. I respect me. I tell her that before I even get on her. I love you. I respect you, but I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna hold your foot to the fire, right? And no disrespect to her. And if you feel like I disrespected you, I apologize to you. If you feel like I did, but up here when you're an elected official, you better have some tough skin. I can tell you that. I don't sit up here, and I go for woman or man. And I got great respect for any woman that I come in contact with. I just wanted to put that out there while I won't be subject to think that I'm being disrespectful, especially to a woman that I admire and respect, but I gotta hold you accountable at the end of the day. And that's that. Also, I'm looking forward to the parade. I haven't gotten any emails either. I'm kind of like with Ms. Ware, you know, we need to, you know, be a little bit more attentive to how we're moving forward. And I know we got a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot coming down the pipeline, so I get it. But I think we need to be a little bit more strategic on how we do things. And I know you're just you know, kind of really sitting in that seat and trying to get everything logistically ironed out. And I know it's a tough job. You're running the whole operation. You're the CAO, the Chief Administration Officer, who run the entire operation when the mayor's not here, who's over the administration, right? So with that being said, also my last thing would be, of course, to Attorney Shepherd, and he know what it is. He didn't bring it up, but do we have any lawsuits pending against the town of Eatonville at this time?
As I always say, sir, as far as I know, the answer is none. And I didn't look around the room to make sure no one else knows something that I don't.
Okay, with that being said, if all minds and hearts are clear, that's my report. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. My condolences to the Cole family. I know me and Ed, we have up here in the diocese and out there, we are two different people. We talked first day of school at Hungerford. We took pictures that day. We talked again at the Thanksgiving, and we talked at the Magic at the Boys and Girls Club. We did a lot of conversations dealing with school board. One conversation we had, he wanted to come out to the facility working. He said, "Theo, you need to come out here, man. You need to come see what we got." I sat there like one time before you guys got it, and it's a very nice facility, and we was talking about that. But I did mess with him about his picture at Hungerford. I told him, I was like, hey, I don't know who took that picture of you, but they make you like you was scared, real scared. So he did crack a joke about that, but I was told, he always said, I think a fifth grader, somebody drew that picture of me. But definitely, we had a good conversation in this last days. Like I said, he was here a couple Tuesdays ago, sitting back there where Ryan sitting. Matter of fact, it was just heartbreaking to come home. I'm driving home from work that on the 20th and get that news. And at the funeral yesterday, somebody said something that I want to say. Are you ready? Are you ready? But we never ready. You're never ready to get a phone call driving home or in your house to hear things like that. You never ready, especially with I call him the rabbit because he's always going, always going. But like I said, up here we different people, and I always told my family, my kids, what I do up here, and nothing to do with you out there. Don't lose friendship with people. Always keep friends with whoever kids that we have up here. And that's one thing my kids always done. Never took what I do up here and used against any of our kids that if you had kids in my time sitting up here. What we do up here is like when I get here, that's over sometimes. Let's take some phone calls. But definitely we need to separate these things from political and family and relationships out there. Matter of fact, back in the 90s, Ed got their job. And the guy spoke yesterday, Jim Spencer. He was my boss at the church. And he said, yeah, man, he had brought you over here. I said, yeah. He got into one of my jobs because I had several. So he got into one of them because I was up here. I worked for the city of Orlando and I had a job. And this is a good guy. He told the guy how good I was, very dependable, trustworthy. And that's one thing I really with Ed. He will look out for you. He will look out for you. And definitely he could be missed. And he was running for the mayor of 2026. So am I. And we never had when we talked, we never talked about that. Because that wasn't gonna be an issue with us. That wasn't gonna be an issue. So I'm gonna miss him. Some of the things some of the things he do, bring especially around bringing food. Hey, you want some of this here? I got a box over here. So definitely gonna be missed. But I definitely didn't think that I would be driving home on a Saturday and hear that anytime. I would have never thought that this guy here gone. I would never think that. And he was just here. And when I talked to Miss Fultz yesterday, she said the same thing. She said, yeah, he's gone. I said, I would never thought that. Never thought that at all. But like I said, I go to it. Matter of fact, that same day, 24 hours after that, I had a relative pass the same way with a heart up in Valdosta. I attended that funeral this weekend. So, like I said, when it comes down, it comes down. We just don't know. And this guy was in the 40s, 42, I think. So, definitely, like, oh, you ready? We definitely ready for this. I hear that on Saturday and hear this on a Sunday. So, you just don't know how things going to come down. But I thank you guys for coming out tonight. Alex, you got my prayers, brother. And your best friend right there, brother. Y'all look like twins, matter of fact. But you just the dress tied up. But guys, be strong. You the man of the family now.
Thanks,
Yes, sir.
I appreciate all the condolences.
You wanna go?
My mind started moving, a lot of moving pieces. I know I am. I'm the only boy, so I know I hope. I've been in a lot of rooms, all from California with him too. We've been with my dad since I was 17, but before then. But he been on the journeys to California and back in rooms with me and my dad, big rooms. For the most part, I know who everybody is in Eatonville. I didn't want my dad to go back into any of these elections because these politics do affect our personal life, my personal life. I know most of the faces in here. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna accept the condolences of my family when I figure out who is who and what's real. For years, I still shake hands, hug people, show respect. no matter what they got going on, my dad. Only person I didn't like is Anthony Grant. That's the only person I love right now. There's a few people in here I love and respect. Everybody else, I'm coming with so much pressure. If you're not on the side of righteousness or Eatonville, you're going to get crushed politically, and I don't care about personal life, none of that stuff. I'm crossing all lines. Nothing violent, this and that or whatever, but you're gonna have problems. If y'all think Eddie Cole was a problem, you got problems. But y'all don't know who Jeffrey Wooden used to be in here. When Jeffrey stopped putting pressure on Eatonville, it's because of me. On Anthony Grant, it's because of me. I remember seeing years of paperwork, years of court documents with my best friend mom's name in it because she's married to him. I tried to do so much to protect him. I watched his mom die. I watched a lot of this stuff happen in this community. I know who loves it and who doesn't. I know what's real and what's fake, but I'm gonna let stuff still get to where it's going to get. I'm gonna take the righteous road as how my dad would do, but we're gonna really get this town where it's supposed to be. That's all we talked about all year. So whoever here and abroad, I'm telling you, if you're not righteous, I'm going to make it hard for you in the whole Central Florida area. I promise. I promise. Like, so we can get righteous all together and forgive and kumbaya. I'm good with that too. But as long as we're doing what's right for the community here first and then abroad. I thank everybody and appreciate y'all giving me the time.
I'm glad you had that thought come back up because you was like, you didn't have that much for the first time.
Yeah,
I'm glad I brought something back.
my mind is still going.
Yeah,
It's not, I'm trying to put pressure, but
No.
a lot of stuff has affected my whole life. I didn't want to share my dad with community. I wanted a different dad, but I accepted and knew what his purpose was. He didn't get rich. He didn't do this and that. He didn't nothing I have going on. It's people saying he stole money, this and that. They got me and him farm together. That's all based off of our hard work. But I get pulled in the rumors in politics. I'm like, I shake hands and act normal with everybody. Never get into it. I'm in it now. I'm in it. I will be all in here. Y'all will see.
Great.
I'm in it.
Okay.
For years to
I
come.
appreciate that, fellow. I appreciate that. But I'm glad you brought that out. And like I said, we definitely with the school board that we just got to come together and do some put our great minds together to make Eatonville at least come up with something good deal out of this too. But that's all I have this evening. Thank you guys.
All right, definitely my condolences. I made my remarks Friday. I would say time heals, time doesn't heal, just help you to deal with it. So with that being said, it is 9:07. I move for adjournment. So move. Second, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?